Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that replied from my last video where I asked if you wanted to see a part 2 from the Allure Beauty Award winners. And the response from you guys was amazing. So here we are, part 2 for Allure Beauty Awards. So I will say with this video, there's going to be a few more Sephora type of products because I used so many drugstore products in the first video. And if you haven't seen it, I'll just put the thumbnail here for you and you can go check it out. I will also have it linked down in the description box as well. But where I can, I will try and include a drugstore version or an alternative product that you may enjoy. I'm not going to say it's going to work for everything, but I always like to do that for you. And all the products that I'm discussing, I did apply on my face today. So if it does seem a little bit bright on this side, I just have to have my window open. The blinds are open today because we had a torrential downpour yesterday. Like, it did not stop raining all day yesterday. And I was so happy to see the sun coming out today. So it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous fall day. And you can just sort of feel a little bit of the crisp air coming through. So I apologize if it does seem really bright, but I just couldn't help myself. Now, I also have a lot more products to discuss in this video. So I'm going to format it as more of a speed review type of video. Otherwise, it is going to be way too long. So hopefully you guys don't mind that. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of these products I've had in previous videos. So if I can, I'll try and link some of those videos down below and you can go check out more in-depth review and more of my thoughts on the product. But let's get started. So this product was in the steals category. It was a product that came out several months ago, and it's a skincare product, and that's where we're going to start, is the skincare products. So it's the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Thirst Burst Drops. Now, when these originally came out, I had compared them to the Glow Recipe Watermelon Drops, Dew Drops. But I've really enjoyed these ones. This is actually my second bottle of these. And on the days where I'm not wearing my Merit Great Skin Serum, I gravitate to this one. So it comes as a pump bottle. I'm down to the nitty-gritty of it. So where it does look very similar to the Glow Recipe is it does have a pink look to it. I love how it makes my skin look instantly radiant. It's never greasy. It absorbs beautifully into the skin. Very hydrating. It brightens my skin. It has 1% hydrating hibiscus complex in it and also 5% niacinamide in it. That's what's really giving you that glowiness. It is a multi-use product, so you can use this as a serum, you can use it as a primer, or just to boost your foundation. I primarily just use it as a serum before I apply my moisturizer. But if you use it as a foundation booster, just mix it in with your foundation and it'll give you even more of a glowiness appearance. The price is super affordable. It's good for all skin types, normal, dry, combination, oily. So I was very happy to see that this made the list. Now this next product is in the skin category. And in all fairness, I have only been using this for about 4 weeks, but I've been testing it out behind the scenes and I've really been enjoying it so far. And it's the Roc Retinol Correction Line Smoothing Eye Cream. Now this has been a previous Allure Beauty Award winner a couple of years ago, I believe. I had seen some really good reviews about it, so I only recently went out and purchased it and started using it. Now what the claims are is it's supposed to reduce wrinkles around your eye by 50%. Some of the consumers have also said that they saw the reduction of dark circles by 90%, and 84% saw visible difference in their puffiness. Now, I don't have under eye puffiness, but I for sure have the dark circles. Absolutely have the crow's feet going here. What did surprise me is I did a little bit of research before I picked it up, and it said that this is one of the #1 eye creams that's sold, and there's one sold every 30 seconds. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Now for skin products, it usually takes about 2 to 3 months before you're actually going to see visible results. So I'm going to keep you guys updated on this product, but so far I'm really enjoying it. So this actually feels like metal, like a little bit of like a metal packaging. Like this isn't plastic. And then you can see the end. That is also a metal. I primarily have been using this at night. So that's what it looks like. But one of the things I definitely have noticed is my darkness seems a little bit more diminished, and the crow's feet look just a tiny little bit reduced. But like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. It's non-greasy, like my hand does not feel greasy at all. This is also hyperallergenic. And I think the Roc brand is a really underrated brand. And I like that you can get it at the drugstore. It is a little bit on a higher price point for sure, but I absolutely believe that it is well worth it. One of the products that I can for sure tell you that I've been using is this one here by Roc. This is the Revive and Glow Eye Balm. This is absolutely going to be a repurchase for me. Quick and easy to apply. And I use this actually throughout the day. If I know I'm going to have like a long day, I'll use this to revive my under eye area. But it's a stick applicator. So you just bring that up. And it's so quick and easy to just rub a little bit of balm under your eye. And your under eye area looks refreshed. It doesn't disturb the concealer that's on there or whatever eye product you have under your eye. I did have this one in a video, and I'll link the video down below for you if you want to go check out my more thorough review of it. But this is also a great Roc product for under the eyes. Now, a brand that recently launched at Sephora Canada is the brand Rhode, and it was created by Hailey Bieber. Now, I really didn't know much about Rhode. I had seen some other content creators using some of the products, but I couldn't really get it here in Canada until recently. So I was really happy when I saw that one of her products was in the Allure Beauty Awards because it was a product that I had wanted to try. So it's the Rhode Barrier Butter Intensive Moisture Balm. So I ran to Sephora and picked it up. Been using it for about 3 weeks now, and really loving the results of this product. Now, I picked up the smaller version because if I have the opportunity, if I can pick up more of a smaller version, because I don't want to fork out the money for the full size, especially if I'm not going to like it. So whenever I see that there's a smaller version, I usually pick that one up. So in this case, it is a 40 ml or 1.35 ounce. But what surprised me is how thick this is. And I thought it was at a perfect time because as fall, winter is coming into the mix here, I like to use skincare products, especially my moisturizers, that are a little bit thicker because my skin does start becoming really, really dry. What I've noticed about this is it gives me some really deep hydration, and you don't need a lot of it. It's very, very thick, like I mentioned. I'm going to use it sparingly, so I'm just going to put that much on my hand. But what I've discovered is it's leaving my skin with a nice radiance. I think my skin has a little bit more plumpness to it. And I'll also agree that it does have some bounce to it. So I don't know if you guys can see kind of my skin bouncing. I think it's a great moisturizing balm for mature skin. She's also put some fantastic ingredients in it, like Mir butter. There's peptide in it, hyaluronic acid complex. So far, really enjoying this. And if I continue to see positive results, I will for sure be buying the bigger size of this. So next is a sunscreen. So the SuperGoop Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40 made the list. Now this was one of those ones where I bought the smaller size, a drugstore version that I think is a very, very similar product is the one by e.l.f. because they also have the Sun Touchable Invisible Sunscreen. The difference is this is a 35, whereas the Unseen Sunscreen SuperGoop is a 40. Now, what I love about both of these products is they come out clear. That's why they're the invisible ones. They both can be used as a primer, which I loved in the summertime because it just saved me an extra step of having to apply a primer. I will say there is definite differences in the consistencies. What's interesting is the first 4 ingredients in both products are identical. And I'll link that down over here. I'll just quickly show you over here what the 4 ingredients are because I will not be able to pronounce them. I'm just telling you that right now. You can see this one here. That's the SuperGoop. So it's very, very clear. Whereas this one here is the e.l.f. But once you start rubbing them in, there is virtually no difference. So let me start off. That's the SuperGoop one. I mean, in all fairness to SuperGoop, this is very silky. Like it just feels silky smooth. They're both great for all skin types. So that's the SuperGoop all rubbed in. And I'll use a different finger. And there's the e.l.f. The e.l.f. I find doesn't seem to have as much of a slip as the SuperGoop. But they both do a fantastic job of filling in my pore area here. When I applied the sunscreen, I applied all over my face, but I also put it right in this area here. And I find it does blur all of my little fine lines in this area here. I find they both work great under makeup. They don't do any sort of pilling or anything like that. I always say to at least let it sit on your skin for about 10 minutes before you start applying your other products. That way it just gives it a really good chance of absorbing into your skin and giving you the full effect. So this is a great, great sunscreen. But if you're looking for a drugstore alternative, then I highly recommend the e.l.f. one. Now, next up is a product that is in the eye category, an eyebrow product, and it's the Maybelline Build a Brow. I really, really enjoy this product. I like it because it does two things. It has a liquid felt tip, which really does help get into all those little hairs, makes quick work of filling in my brows. The only thing that I was on the little bit of a struggle bus with was trying to find the right shade. I originally had picked up deep brown, which was just a little bit too dark for my brows. So that's the shade deep brown. So then I went and picked up soft brown. Oh, and what I will say one thing, to shake it before you start using it. You can kind of hear the mechanism up there working. So the soft brown is that one there. It actually reminds me more of like a blonde type of tone. But you know what? I'm not hating it, but I've been playing around with it. And you know what? I actually do like the shade. I think it really does match my brow shade. So I'm okay with that now. On a couple of occasions is filled it in with the soft and then just put a few little strokes of the dark one in there. Just, I don't want to waste this product, so I may as well use it. And then what it has on this side though is a little gel formula that's going to lock your brows in place. So I just run it through. It says it lasts for about 24 hours. I like how the felt tip gives you better control. And then the only other thing that I have as a standby is a regular pencil with just one of my regular spoolies. And that way, if there's just any sort of like little mistake or anything, I just use that and just quickly run through my hairs. But I will absolutely agree that this is a great brow product. Now, this next product continues to be on Allure's best product list. This is also in the eye category, and it's an eyeliner. So it's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. I have two shades. This one is well used. This is a repurchase type of product. I have it in the shade Bourbon, and I'll just show you the two differences with the shades. Even though they look brown, the Bourbon shade has just a tiny bit of flecks in it. Now the Bourbon is described as a glimmering dark brown, and that one I primarily use on my lower lash line. These are waterproof as well. And then I also have the shade Whiskey, which is a rich matte brown. It is kind of hard to see the differences, but this one here on the top, that's the Whiskey. You can see it does have a little bit more of a matte look to it. I use this one primarily on my upper lash line. I just like to stay really, really close to the lashes. It just glides on. It's little effort to apply the product. There's no tugging. And their pencils have won over 38 awards, like different beauty awards. They last. They're super pigmented. I never have any issues with it fading at all, even on my lower lash line. They don't transfer. Even at the end of the night, I don't have it gravitating down low, onto my cheek at all. They just stay put. And I just love how many shades they have. So I was very happy to see that they made the list once again. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier in the video, but there was a couple of products that I'm going to say definitely on the fence about. I have the products and I use them. I'm kind of, debating, do I feel that they are a Best of Beauty award? So I'll let you know, this is one of them coming up. And I'll show you the one that I think is actually better than the Allure Beauty Award. It's the Lancome e.l.f. Flutter Extension Mascara. So a mascara that launched around the same time as the Lancome was the L'Oreal The Paradise Big Deal Mascara. And I did an actual comparison between the two. I'll stick the thumbnail here for you if you wanted to go check it out. And again, I'll link it down below for you. So if you go watch that video, you'll see that I have the Lancome on one side, the L'Oreal on one side. I end up enjoying the L'Oreal more. I think mascara is one of those categories that's really hard to say that this is the absolute best mascara. Hard to judge it sometimes. And the only reason I say that is because everybody's lashes are different. You can have short lashes, you can have nice, long, thick lashes, thin lashes. Like, you know, you have a whole spectrum of different types of lashes. So I think mascara is it's sometimes hard to test out and judge that way. But the claims for this is it's supposed to give you lashes that you don't need, like lash extensions or false lashes. That's why it's called flutter extension. Well, you can see here, I'm wearing it. This is about two and a half coats on my eyes. That's the wand. One of the things I actually don't enjoy about the wand is it's one of those ones that is very prickly. So if you poke yourself accidentally in the eye, it kind of hurts a bit. So I've done that a couple of times, not, you know, on purpose. I'm just putting my mascara on and it just accidentally hit my eyeball. It can start getting clumpy if you apply a little bit too much, or if you let it dry between coats. I find that's where it starts clumping on me a little bit. See, that's where the difference between the L'Oreal one is. I never have any issues at all with it clumping on me. This gives me some great length. It gives me some volume, and you can apply this and apply it and apply it, no clumping whatsoever. So this one, like I said, I'm still kind of on the fence with it. I'm using it, of course, because this one was expensive. I think this one must have been like upwards of $30 or something. So not a cheap mascara. And I forgot to mention, this was one in the category of best lengthening mascara. Go check out the video if you wanted to see a side-by-side comparison and more of my thoughts on the product. All right, so for a liquid bronzer, and this is in the base category, they chose the Makeup by Mario. This is the soft sculpting bronzer. I love the versatility of how he has created the actual packaging. So two things you can do with this. One, you can use it as a pump and apply it all over your face if you want a beautiful glow, or you can use a wand. And that is going to target more of the areas if you just want to do a little bit of contouring or just want the bronzer in a more strategic kind of area. I do have this in the shade. This is light. Now keep in mind, this is more of a serum type of product, which I do really enjoy that part of it, because when I'm applying it, I'll usually use the pump, put a little bit on the back of my hand. I use it as a bronzer, so I'm buffing it into my skin. It gives the beautiful glow. You can see that's what I have on today. It just has a sun-kissed glow to it. It's not like hyper pigmented. I like it when I can diffuse the product out. So that's what it looks like all blended in. But look at that luminosity. Isn't that gorgeous? And you could get away with this. Like in the summertime, there was times where I just applied a little bit with my moisturizer and put it on, and my skin just looked so healthy looking. I think it's a mistake-proof kind of product because you can't apply too much. Like look at how nicely that blended in. And it doesn't look cakey or anything on my face. It's just a beautiful product. There is a drugstore version, which I'm going to say it's not exactly the same, but you can use it in a similar way. And it's the Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow Bronzing Serum. So this also is a bronzing serum product. Now this only has a dropper applicator. You can see it is a little bit on the runnier side, but when you blend it in, it doesn't blend in as easily as the Makeup by Mario. You can see up here, that's where I blended in the Makeup by Mario. And here I'm still trying to blend in the Physicians Formula. So you don't need a lot of this at all. I have used it in the past as a bronzer, and all I basically do is a similar thing. I put on the back of my hand and then I just use a brush to dab it on. And surprisingly, for a Physicians Formula product, it's not an overly scented item. At least in my past experiences using Physicians Formula products, they sometimes have like a little bit of a coconut scent to them or that sort of thing. This one doesn't have that. And I would say like this is going to last me a really, really long time because you don't need a lot of it. And this one doesn't have any other shades with it. It's just this is the only one. But if you just wanted something to try, something similar to see how you like it, then give this one a try. But if you want a product that has a little bit of richness to it and different shade ranges, then I'd say try the Makeup by Mario. Now, if you are somebody that prefers more of a stick type of bronzer formula, then Merit won the award for Best Cream Bronzer. So this is the Merit Bronze Balm Sheer Sculpting Bronzer. I have this in the shade Clay, and I have to agree with them. This really is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. Super creamy. It's another product I think is mistake proof. You can't over apply it. It blends in like a dream. It has a sheer but a buildable formula. I think my skin looks really natural when I wear it, and it never looks it never looks streaky at all. It has quite a big shade range, and even though it's a cream formula, it never feels heavy on the face. What I'll do is I will link some of my Merit videos down below for you if you wanted to see a more in-depth review. I have done a few Merit videos because I absolutely love their products, but very happy to see that they won an award for Best Bronzer. Two of my favorite brands at Sephora won awards for their highlighters. So the one highlighter I have had on my channel so many times, and I've had it in my category, I'm going to say 2 or 3 years in a row as like the best highlighter of the whole entire year. So no surprise when I'm going to show you, it's the Rare Beauty. This one for Best Powder Highlighter. I have it in the shade Mesmerize. This is undoubtedly one of the best little highlighters. The formula it's such a unique feeling product. Like it literally feels like silk when you're touching the product. Like look at that. Oh my goodness. So what I did is put the one highlighter on this side. So this right now is the Rare Beauty. And then the other highlighter that I have in my collection is the one by Haus Labs. So this one for Best Stick Highlighter. This is in the shade Glassy Opal. And it is just simply stunning. It's so gorgeous. And it's like a balm. So that one I put over on this cheek. So I'll show you a little bit of B-roll of me applying them. Both are wonderful, wonderful products. And it really is a toss-up for me to recommend which one is amazing because they're both amazing. It depends on if you want a powder. And this one does give you that definite, oh my goodness, that is a highlighter on your cheek. And then the Haus Labs one is a little bit more of a balmier. Well, you can see on my cheek, it still is giving some luminosity, but it's not as intense. And one of the nice things about this is there's multiple ways that you can apply it. So what I'll do a lot of the times is take just a brush, run it over the product and apply it that way. Or if you want to be a little bit more bold, you can definitely just apply it directly to your cheek. Or there has been actually even other times where I've just put it like that on the back of my hand and used a brush to pick it up if I wanted more of a subtle look. But both outstanding products. I'm a little bit of a highlighter junkie, so I love, love, love trying new highlighters, but these are so, so good. So in the category of Best Lip Liner Pencil, they chose MAC. So I have one, and it's in the shade Oak, which is described as a soft beigey brown. And I think it's beautiful for the fall. That shade is so gorgeous. One of the nice things about MAC lip liners is they don't skip. So as you're applying them, there's no tugging, there's no dragging, there's no skipping. Very creamy formula. So that's what I applied on my lip today. But I thought, well, is there a drugstore version that is a little bit similar, where it doesn't skip, it's creamy, and it's a pencil type of formula. I was trying to choose a product that is a pencil similar to that one where you actually have to sharpen it. Well, the one that I have is by e.l.f. This is the Cream Glide Lip Liner. I have it in the shade Truth or Bare. Now, don't look at, like, the shade is not going to be identical, but I was just looking for the formula. So that's the e.l.f. one right there. But again, it's very, very creamy. Like, it is amazing how little effort that took to put the swatch on. So if you're looking for an affordable makeup alternative to a MAC one, then I would recommend the e.l.f. Now, this next drugstore product won in the category of Best Sheer Lipstick, and it's the one by Revlon. So this one came out, I believe, earlier in the year, but it was a relaunch from an old packaging that they had. So this one is much more sleeker looking. This is called Glossed Lip Rose. Now, keep in mind, this is not like a true, like a lipstick. This is definitely more on the balmy side. It has some long-lasting staying power to it. But what I do find about this one is it doesn't last like an entire day for me. It's a product you will need to reapply. It is very nourishing. I think my lips look like they have a little bit of like a glass appearance to them if I'll apply a little bit more. There is several different shades. I like how my lips have like a nice shine to them. And it's just really easy to put on. And this was like a viral product, so a lot of people like it. So I was glad to see that that made the list. Now, a brand that won for Best Plumping Lip Gloss is by YSL. And now, I do have a few other shades, but I'm just going to show you the one because I have a drugstore comparative one if you're looking for that. So it's the YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. They are a higher price point, but my goodness, these are amazing. If you are looking for a plumping lip gloss, I'm being serious when I say these are on another level. I have it in the shade 2, which is described as Lucky Moonstone. So it's a nice pink shade. They do have an oversized doe foot applicator. I'll put a little bit on. There is something really special about this formula. Very hydrating. It does have a definite tingling to it. They are infused with vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, ginger and pepper oils, which is giving it a little bit of spiciness. But it's not overpowering, like it's not hurting your lips or anything like that. It does come in several different shades. I like how it is an oil, like a lip oil, but a gloss as well. It gives me that beautiful shine, but it's nourishing. Like that, the lip oil is very nourishing. And even when I go like that with my lips, like it just feels soft. So very soft and cushiony. Highly recommend that. Now, there is a drugstore alternative if you wanted to pick that up. And it's the one by L'Oreal. It's the Plump Ambition. You guys know this is like one of my favorites for a drugstore lip oil. One of the things I find about this one compared to the YSL is the YSL keeps my lips a little bit more on the glossy side, whereas this one, the lip oil just kind of dissipates a little bit faster than the other one. YSL and L'Oreal, I'm going to say, come from the same beauty house. They're all kind of under this umbrella, but the L'Oreal is a fraction of the cost of the YSL. Similar properties where it does give me that tingling, whereas the YSL right now is giving me more of a plumping effect, and it's never sticky or anything like that. Now, the L'Oreal, smaller doe foot applicator, but it does fit very nicely on the lip. This is more of a cooling sensation rather than a little bit of spice to it. And then this is the shade 201, which is Milky New. But another product that I've had on my channel lots of times, so if you wanted to go check it out, I've had it in a few recent videos. So this is a great one if you don't want to go and spend the money on the YSL. All right, so this is that other product I was talking to you about where I was a little bit on the fence about it. It's the L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist. Now, the claim for this is that it lasts for 36 hours. Again, I'll never wear my makeup for that long, so I can attest to that. The reason that I'm on the fence about this one is I think if you are somebody that has drier skin, this may not be the best setting spray for your skin. If you are somebody that has oily or normal, even combination skin, then you would probably really enjoy this one. But what I do find about this is it just can be, I guess, a little bit drying. First of all, I'll tell you the nice things I like about it. I like the dispenser. So normally you don't get a dispenser that's like an aerosol. Usually they're that spritz type of packaging, whereas this is like an aerosol. It's almost like a hairspray type of dispenser. So I didn't apply it because I wanted to show you on camera of how well it disperses the product. So always give it a good shake, and then I hold it way out. One thing I will say is don't breathe it in at all. So when it says it dries in 3 seconds, it really does. Like I could feel it going on my face, and right now it's not wet feeling at all. When I do wear it, like my skin does look very natural. There's no splotchiness is going on when I have sometimes with other setting sprays with the mister. Sometimes you can get like little splotches on your face. I like how it is transfer proof. I have actually worn this when it was very humid out or even raining, and I got a little bit of water on my face. It did not budge my makeup at all. It does feel very comfortable on the skin right now. I mean, it does say that it is suitable for all skin types, even sensitive skin. But if you are somebody like myself that has dry skin, the only thing I would recommend is just wearing it on a day where you really need your makeup to stay that day. Or, I mean, even a special occasion. There has been some times where I've gone out in the evening or we're going somewhere and I really want my makeup to stay. Then I've used it. But I do find it can be a little bit drying on my skin. And it's not sticky, feels very light. And you can see how beautiful it makes my skin right in this area right here. Again, I haven't powdered or anything. But can you see right in here the luminosity? Now this next product, I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail about it because it is definitely on the higher price point, but it did win in the skin category as the best microcurrent device. So if you're familiar with my channel at all, you know I absolutely adore my Zip Halo. That's this little machine right here. I've done several videos about it. I just wanted to show it to you guys because it is the only device that I have used, and I've used several over the years. This is the only one that I have been able to stay consistent with. And I think it's just because it is so easy and convenient to use. If I use the program that is built into this device, it is 4 minutes in the morning. And then the other reason that I wanted to include it as well is I have a lot of my viewers reach out and say, hey, what are you using on your skin? Your skin looks so glowy and radiant and lifted. I really do feel that it is the product that has helped me most with my hyperpigmentation. And if you go back to some of my videos, like even 4 years ago, even 3 years ago, I would say, I had quite dark spots on my face. And now if you look at some of my recent makeup tutorial videos, like this is literally gone. Like there's just a tiny little bit there, but this has been the game changer in my hyperpigmentation. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I will link some of the videos that I've done about my Zip Halo and my thoughts on it. But like I said, I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail about it. So I hope you enjoyed part 2 of the Best of Beauty Allure Award-winning products. I appreciate it so much when you guys give me that feedback that you want to see that kind of video. I absolutely love it. I love brainstorming ideas, so thank you very much for doing that. We talked about a lot of products today, and sometimes I can't link all of the products. We're only allowed so many characters in our description box. So if you ever see where I just haven't linked a product, but maybe I just put the name, that's why. I think part of the reason that my description box gets filled up so much faster is because I put US links and also Canadian links. So that eats up some of that space in there. But I'll link what I can. And as I mentioned in the video, I'll also link some videos where you guys can go check out some of the products. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!